Good morning and good morning. And here we have it, Monday. We're entering the third week of the lockdown in London. And I hope you had a really, really wonderful weekend. It's just a very cloudy day after a very, very, very sunny, weekend. And we're coming up to Easter. Now, Easter, according to the Christian tradition, is the celebration of the resurrection of Christ, the rebirth of Christ. Now, it's connected to a lot of the Christian festivals are connected to pagan festivals. And this is Westra, I think, who's the spring goddess. And there's also there's a lot of egg giving as well, and egg painting. And I think it's about it's about rebirth. The resurrection is about rebirth, and spring is when everything is reborn. The trees all come back to life. They obviously by all the new shoots. Some are in bloom, some have been in bloom earlier this year. The wild cherries have been in bloom, and now we've got the cultivated cherries and the apple trees. And the only reason I know this is because both my neighbors, one has a cherry tree, and the white blossoms are all there. I'm just waiting for them to start to fall, because it's really like snow on the lawn, and it's really beautiful. But my favorite is the apple tree that Sandy has, and the blossoms are either pink to start off with, and then they go white, or they're white and they go pink, and they're absolutely beautiful. And again, I have this flurry. Good morning, Aggie. I have this flurry of the most beautiful blossoms in my garden. Plus my other neighbor Tony, he's also got this magnificent walnut tree. Although this weather isn't the most conducive to get ripe walnuts, the squirrels really love it, and the smell of the fruit when it's forming, nuts before they get hard, and also the leaves. It's an absolutely wonderful smell. It provides a lot of shade, but not too much, because it's on the east side of the garden, really east. So, and there are lots of buildings behind, so the tree is not really stopping light from entering the garden. So I really, really, really love them. So I think this week, tomorrow, there won't be a morning, and good morning, Anna. There won't be a meditation on time, because I've got to take King into the vets for his teeth to be done. Ouch, poor guy. So we have to support him with quite a few remedies before he goes in, and also remedies before when he comes out. And he'll have his antibiotics as well from the vet, because he's got really bad gingivitis, and he's got a couple of bad teeth, so they'll need to be removed. So I'll have to get him in between 9 and 10. So it'll probably be later. So no gong bath today. I thought that it'd be really good to dive into a meditation honoring the animals. So I have, for setting the intention, we have the Secret Language of Animals Oracle cards by Chip Richards. And Ola chose this many years ago. I found it's really, really good. We have them in work. We use this in workshops as well. And messages are really sharp, pertinent, and they're lovely. And the illustrations are lovely as well. So this week is a week to honor nature, Earth. Animals today, probably plants tomorrow. We also have to remember the beings in other dimensions, the elementals like fairies and elves, and also to remember they're not fluffy creatures. They're powerful, and they do a lot of work with the planet. and there needs to be an acknowledgement of all the other beings and everything else, the landscape, the rocks, the metals, the crystals, the magma, the waters, everything else, all the elements that, and all the sentient beings and all the non-sentient beings that we share this planet with, because there's really not enough of that. And I think people are awakening to that. And there have been so many people going to the woods. So many people. It's like, oh, I have to avoid. It's like slalom, trying to avoid people, because we're supposed to keep 2 meters between us. But there are a lot more people, and it is wonderful to see families with their children enjoying the meadow and going into the woods. Hello, Liana. Yes, exactly. Beautiful babykins. So it's wonderful to see families enjoying woods, and I hope that from this and from the time families can have together, that greater connections are made between us as a species and also interspecies and with the plants. Good morning, Joanna. With the plants and with animals too. So what's the intention for so today it's to honor the animal kingdom, so our meditation is going to take that into account, but we're just going to let the cards set a further intention or to advise us what perhaps we need to look at. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you eat meat or if you don't, this is not just for vegans and vegetarians. I'm definitely not vegan, and I do eat fish and seafood. So, but we can still be appreciative of what we eat and of everything which is around us, yeah? Or life. It is life. We are part of life. We are not separate. So, let's see what the cards say for today. Sometimes it takes a bit of time. Okay, what's this? Oh, now these guys are great. I feed them in the woods. There's always a particular pair that I feed, and there are 3 others in another part on the meadow, whom I also occasionally feed. And the card is crow. Oops, get it right. Crow. And for my video from YouTube, crow. Okay, so and the words below, which are the things which we need to be aware of, are communication. I was just talking about connection, but that involves, I think we have to remember, communication is not just through the words that we say. A lot of communication is through vibe, through the energy that we put into words, or the energy that we are radiating at that time, because they can say far more than words. So it's also about interspecies communication, transformation, yes, story, and universal law. Interesting, universal law. Well, I was thinking this morning that a lot of people see nature as something which is dark, unknown, and sometimes quite malevolent. Hi, Wei Ying. Sometimes quite malevolent crow. Sorry, I do like crows. You might see them as vermin, but they have a role, so they only flock to places where there's a lot of rubbish, like rats. Or I know that, in the sewage system in Kuala Lumpur, they're rife, and it's quite dirty. But in the natural world, they really do have quite a major role of cleaning up like the dustbin collectors that we have, who are so important. There was going off track, I'm sorry, but there was a rumor on one of the neighborhood communications that, oh, there's a rumor that the rubbish people are going to go on strike. But I'm so pleased that they didn't, because my bins were very, very full that week, with the boxes of stuff that we were getting. Okay, and yes, crows are incredibly intelligent. These guys know when King and I come into the woods, and it's always the same two. I've been feeding them for since I've had King, so over 2 years now. So communication and interspecies communication, communication with nature, communication with ourselves. Do we really know what's going on in our lives? Do we really know what our body is trying to tell us? Is it aching? Are you taking good care of it? Are you drinking enough water? Why is it aching in that way? So the body never lies. If it's in pain, it's in pain, and it needs to be looked at, right? And we all know what that's like. Transformation. And this weekend, like I said, it's Easter. It's also the celebration of the pagan spring goddess. It's the opportunity for rebirth. It's the opportunity to change your story. Yep, the stories can always be changed. So you can change your life however you want. And universal law, what is that about? Universal law. I think it's about what you put your focus on will happen. What you put your focus on, you will create. Okay? So that's... And also, if you ask a being that you're, say, if you're in spirit communication with, because I've been practicing this, it seems that I've been told that it is law that if you ask 3 times, it cannot lie 3 times. So you know if something is messing about, and that being is something you do not want to work with, because they're light and they're not so light beings. And the not so light beings are ones which will get involved in... they have no bodies, so they try to use us to do what they want. And we don't want to be messed about by anything or anyone. So you can use the questioning 3 times, and it cannot lie 3 times. Humans do. But with these other beings, they can't. Okay? So, crow, communication, and this is going deep into your cells as well. Communication with self, interspecies communication, transformation, story, and universal law. And crows live for a long, long time. They're incredibly intelligent, and research has found that they can resolve puzzles. They're really, really, really smart, and they use tools. So the weird things that anthropologists use as a measure of intelligence or capacity, it's kind of, because everything has an intelligence. We are just scraping the surface at the moment. Yeah, we are just scraping the surface. But there are the old ways when people were more in tune with herbs and in tune with nature. There was definitely a reverence for animals. So I've got on my t-shirt. So I'm gonna try and dig up some more t-shirts with animals on them, and if you'd like to do the same and post them on your timeline or on mine, that will be fine. I think this is I've got mine at Uniqlo, and this is supposedly by Andy Warhol. But anyway, so yeah, so we are returning to a time. There's nothing wrong with technology, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with technology. I mean, look, you can watch this live video because of technology. It has enabled information to cross boundaries, physical boundaries, within seconds. But like the atom bomb, which originally fusion or fission was found, and it was originally supposed to be, I think, for to create clean or further energy for us. But everything can be used like money. You can use it for good, or you can use it for to control and manipulate. So it's what we want to make of it. But I think there is a definite return to a greater understanding of ourselves. What we're missing when we do not have our we do not have our connection with nature. We do not have connection with the plants. We do not have connection with the animals. And it doesn't, even the Native American Indians, they had very strong connection with the animals. And they did eat them, but the way they did it was very, very, very respectful. And they never took, and it's the same with the Australian Aborigines, they never took more than was necessary. And it ensured that the cycle would continue, the cycle of life and birth and death for the animals would continue, and therefore it would continue for them too, because they depended on the animals for food. Okay, and this is something that we have to remember. And Crow comes in to remind us about that. They live for a long time, so they've seen cycles. They've seen the cycles of other animals. They've seen the cycles of their own kind, so they know that everything is cyclical. And they're not completely black. Their feathers have a bluish sheen to them, and there is they manage to survive in all sorts of climates, in hot climates and in this climate as well. And yeah, they're just amazing. And they're basically saying, just because we're black and we're dark, we're not full of beautiful colors like kingfishers and hummingbirds, we're not sprite and light and delicate like hummingbirds. We're quite heavy, and when we fly we may not look terribly elegant, but we're here as part of nature. We're just another expression of nature. Good morning, Min Min. Sorry, it's afternoon for you. So they're just another expression of nature, of this planet, of this really fertile planet. And so are we. We are an expression of this planet as well. Without this planet, we're dead. We're nothing. And if people do go off to Mars or wherever else, it will be very different, because the energy of that planet will be very different. Yeah. It's like when you go and visit different places, you feel a different energy, right? So it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like common sense. I say, so Crow is like, don't be afraid this week of going deep into yourself, finding your shadow aspects. Because there's always a silver lining. There's always a bit of gold in that. And this will help you to, if you want to use the weekend as a means of creating something different for your life, as a portal of rebirth or whatever, then we also have to find out what's limiting. I mean, we talked about limiting beliefs last week, but going deep inside is also going deep into the pain. And get someone to help you if you need it. I do one-on-one sessions, and there are many people who do things over Skype, so find someone whom you resonate with and get some help. But when we do that, we find that actually you might be, I used to be very, very frightened about doing it, because I don't like feeling pain. It's very, very deep, and it's very raw, and it's awful, and I don't want to relive old shitty memories. Excuse me, I don't relive old memories, but But sometimes you don't have to. You just remember the pain, and then somehow it gets released from your body. It gets released from your cells, and you just work to take care of yourself and detox, drink lots of water, and the things move. And you do, and I do feel reborn after that. Okay, so enough said. I've been prattling on for 20 minutes. So let's get comfortable. Make sure your back is straight. And take a few deep breaths. So we're going into meditation. So make sure your back is straight. Yeah, it's really, really important because it supports. When your back is straight, none of the nerves are being pinched by posture, by bad posture, and your organs aren't being impinged. So it's much, much better for your blood flow, your lymph flow, and also your energy flow. Okay, so if it's difficult, then make sure you pad your chair with lots of cushions, but keep yourself straight. And if you need to put a pillow, like me, I'm short, under your feet so that it's comfortable for your legs and your thighs and the backs of your thighs, then please go ahead. If you want to put on some gentle music which helps you to meditate, go ahead. But if you'd like to close your eyes, and I'm just going to sound this chime just to help to just set the space and the intention. The intention is to honor ourselves and to honor animals. When we don't honor something else on this planet, we forget, we kind of cut off a part of ourselves as well, you know, because we're all connected. You all breathe the same air, you drink the same water, eat the plants, it's all coming from the same soil. So if we don't respect, it's like you're kind of cutting off a part of your limb as well. Okay, so it's really, really important. You don't have to love them, you don't have to worship them, it's just mutual respect. Yeah, so slow your breath down. And you use your breath to take you into your heart, take you into your heart center, in the center of your chest, your heart chakra. And with the sound, you see, you can do more than one thing at a time. You take yourself into the center of your chest, but you also allow yourself to be in the center of your brain, where the pineal gland is. And on the next in-breath, you can just imagine yourself surrounded by silver platinum light, and it has specks of gold in it, and it's all around you, and it could be like a whatever shape. It could be spherical, you could be in a ball of this light. So you can visualize or imagine or just feel all this beautiful light around you. Platinum with specks of gold. Gold is supposed to be Christ consciousness. And Easter is a celebration of the resurrection. Not the crucifixion, but the resurrection. And so with each beautiful breath that you take, in breath, out breath, and at your natural rhythm, but I would just slow it down just a little bit more if you can. So you sink in deeper into a calm state. So I had said that you have your consciousness in your heart. You also have your consciousness in the middle of your brain. And we have all this beautiful light around us. Front, back, right, left, up and down. So all, not just from the front, yeah, but all around us. And what I'd like you to do on the next in-breath is just imagine this light coming in through the top of your head, your crown, and it's like liquid. It's like liquid gold specks and liquid platinum. And it's pouring in to the center of your brain, into your pineal, through your crown. Yes, black is beautiful. This is coming in and it's flooding your entire physical brain. This is going into your pineal. It's going into the left and right hemisphere, the frontal lobe, into the pituitary gland. It's also going into your skull, your hair, your skin, the back of your head. But it's also flowing into the bodies which are not seen, your aura and the other subtle bodies. It doesn't matter if you don't believe it. Just imagine it's also flowing out, because your consciousness is also beyond your physical body. Oh. Oh, we got cut off on YouTube. How annoying. I don't think there's anything wrong with my Wi-Fi. So for you, and I will post you on Facebook as well, this video, just imagine all this beautiful light that's in your brain and in your head. It's also the occipital region, yeah, where your neck meets your head. But we're also imagining then all this gold light, all the silver light is going into all the subtle bodies. Going into all this, the rest of your consciousness, that which makes up your consciousness, but beyond the physical. And with each in-breath, you're drawing in more of this beautiful liquid light. Beautiful, beautiful liquid light. Oh my, got cut off. Anyway, I hope you're still in your meditation. And I'm videoing it on my phone as well. So if you want to do it from start to finish, it generally takes almost a day now to upload it onto YouTube, but it will be uploaded by the end of today. So just breathe in all this light, and it's flowing to all the subtle bodies around your head as well. Good morning, Sandy. We got cut off, so we kind of part way in a meditation. But if you'd like to just breathe slowly. So we've just been drawing in platinum colored light with gold specks. We imagine that all this light is around our body, front, back, left, right, top, bottom. And we're surrounded by this color and this light. So we've been drawing it in through the crown into the center of our brain, where the pineal gland is, flooding it with this liquid light, flooding the front and left hemisphere of the brain and the frontal lobe, and into the pituitary glands, and then letting all of this flow to the subtle bodies around us as well. And into the skull, the skin, the hair. And on the next few breaths, we're allowing this to flood the rest of our face, our head, and it's going down the spinal cord as well. And at the same time, it's going down through the third eye, the pituitary gland, through the whole face, into the throat, the thyroid glands, into the thymus, into the heart, flooding the heart. And we're allowing it to go down into the solar plexus, flooding all the organs there as well. Down the sacral to sexual organs, and down into the root, which is the base of your spine. And this light is pouring down, 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 through all the layers of the planet, to the core of the planet, to the solid core, and also the light core. So you may perceive the light core of the planet as any color you wish, but you could also be rainbow colors, or it could be silver, it could be a mixture of rainbow and silver. Hello. There were some other people who joined, but our live feed went dead for some reason, so this is a second bit of live video that we're doing. So we're just in the middle of a meditation, and I'm just going to continue it and upload it onto Facebook afterwards, so you've got the full meditation if you'd like. Okay, so if you'd like to draw that energy, the silver rainbow light, and it's spiraling up, the light that we had taken down to the core, it's spiraling up through all the layers of the planet, and it's coming up through the surface, and it's also spiraling up through the chakras, through the base, through the sacral. And as it's doing that, it's flooding your whole physical body and the subtle bodies as well. And through the solar plexus and all the organs there, up into the heart, into the lungs, through the thymus and the lymph system, and of course it's going through the whole skeleton, all the muscles, nerves and the skin. And up into the throat, thyroids, up into the head, into the pituitary gland, into the pineal in the center of the head, so the third eye, and in the middle of the brain, and it spirals up, out of our crown. So this series of meditations this week and tomorrow will be late, but I will write a note on my feed afterwards. But it's to do with honoring the animal kingdom, and the card we had was crow, And as we're breathing, and we have this beautiful flow of light coming down through our crown into us, into our system, and connecting with the earth. And we have all this light as well coming from the earth and coming through our bodies and out into the sky. The card was crow, and crow is representing the bird kingdom. And they are surrounding us. I think that's the only way I can describe it. Just going to invite some people who were part of it as well just now. So we have these winged creatures flying all around us. And for some, you may hear them, you may hear their normal call. And crows can be quite loud when they want to be. You may hear the goldfinches, or you may hear the golden oriole. So sorry, but the live feed went dead and I started it again. So we're kind of a bit on the meditation now, but we're surrounded by birds. And if you would like to do this meditation from scratch, I'm going to upload the video, which didn't get cut, from my phone onto Facebook. Okay, again, and then you can use it. So I was just saying, you may hear the call of the golden oriole, because I know that that's what we used to hear at your house, Wayne. And some other songbirds as well, as they're around, they come. So we're surrounded by birds. And if you have a favorite bird or a bird that you really enjoy, whom you'd like to express your appreciation to, you can bring this bird to mind, and you can imagine that, like the eagle spiraling on thermals, in thermals, that this bird is spiraling above you and is flying all around you. And as it's doing so, it's singing or chirping. And for me, I see a lot of birds. It's like they're representing the bird kingdom. So let these birds sing to you. They're beautiful songs. If you have a crow cawing at you, then perhaps there's a particular thing that it's trying to say to you, and you need to try to understand. Besides just hearing it as pure annoying noise, is there a rhythm to the crowing or the cawing? Does it remind you of something? For me, it's reminding me that I really need to do more meditation and go deeper and deeper and deeper. And I shouldn't distract myself so much. I'm very good at that. Netflix is great. And when these birds sing, They sing of joy, of life, and sometimes they're singing to each other because there could be time for mating rituals. But there's something in the vibration of the song which contributes to the overall atmosphere and the overall energy. Just like when we speak, we contribute to the energy of that place or to the person. And imagine how awful it would be if we lost these creatures, especially the songbirds, but even the big ones like the eagles, and even the crows who's gonna clean up all the dead animals for us. We might have to do it. Yuck. So just let these birds fly around you. Perhaps they bring you a flower, or perhaps they gift you a feather. And as they do so, even if they're just noisy, you can just say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making this world so rich with your presence, even if you don't like them. So just be open to anything that they may advise you about, or they may tell you, or just enjoy the bird song. And sometimes the birds bring a lot of, when I talk about activations, they can help us to, with the sound, it can help to dislodge and help us to detox as well. You'd be surprised with the sound, how powerful sound is in being able to do that. And their repertoire is usually quite great. So you may feel a difference in your physical body as they're singing around you, or cawing, even a sharp caw from a crow, it's piercing. Just marvel at all the different colors. Maybe they're noisy parrots. They're very, very beautiful. And you have beautiful kingfishers. And you have the little sparrows. Little brown cream sparrows. Chirpy little creatures. And let's just be appreciative of them. They help germinate plants. Sometimes they help pollination as well. Without them, we also won't, like without the bees, we won't have our fruit. Hi again, Aggie. I will post it, the full meditation and the full video. But basically, we just have birds spiraling all around us. So let them sound, let them call if you've got crows, let them chirp, let them sing. And you can imagine yourself just opening your heart, or if you want to put your hands up to receive all these beautiful messages or the beautiful sounds that they make. And if your imagination is really strong, you may even see the sound that they're making turning into little symbols or little specks of light, and just receive them. You can receive them in your hands, or you can allow them to come into your heart. So everything that we're working with here is working from pure love. And there's no control or manipulation about it. So it's perfectly safe. Even if you see a huge condor or one of those carrion birds, a vulture, there's nothing wrong with them. Again, they're fulfilling their role, keeping the place clean. Maybe there's something it's offering to pluck from your life which is dying and dead, or it's festering. So for some, it can be quite a shamanic journey, it can be quite an experience. And if you want to try the meditation again, you can. Just prepare yourself and prepare your space properly so that it's clear and clean and just love-filled. Then you know that whatever you connect with is just coming from pure love, pure light, nothing more or less. Okay, so it's time to wrap this up. So thank all these creatures, even the annoying ones. Thank them for coming in and for giving you an idea of what they're like, what they can be like. And we say goodbye to them as they spiral out, spiral away, back up or back out. You can imagine seeing them disappearing into the trees, up into the sky, into the clouds. And just say thank you. Thank you, nature. Thank you, earth. Thank you that I have a safe house, a safe flat to live in. Thank you that I have food I can share with people. Thank you, I have lovely neighbors. Thank you, we have birds in our trees, squirrels in our garden, plants in the house, providing different energy, a beautiful energy, beautiful color. Thank you for you, for being you. Thank yourself for being here and bringing this energy to the planet. You're beautiful and unique, and no one can fulfill your role. So let's be grateful for ourselves. So just breathe again and start to feel all the sensations that your physical body is giving to you. You can feel your bum on the chair. I want to wriggle it around a bit. Yeah, you feel the pressure of your bum on the seat. You feel warmth or cool. You can hear my voice. And you breathe. You can feel all this air coming in, the oxygen which is flooding all the trillions of your cells. And you might feel your feet on the ground. So you might want to start to wriggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Stretch. Yes, stretch out a little bit. Stretch out a lot if you like. Just make sure that you're... Oh, I'm hungry. Yes, it's good to have some protein. Drink enough water after any meditations that you do, and make sure that you don't run off and jump into a car until you're really sure that you are completely and utterly grounded. Do not listen to any gong baths, any gong meditations, any sort of meditation while you're driving, or if you need your complete and utter attention because you enter an altered state. It's just not safe. So just keep breathing in, and if you're ready to, before you open your eyes, place your hands over your eyes with the fingers together, and then you can open your eyes behind your hands. It's just less of a shock. Then when you've opened your eyes behind your hands, you can start to separate the fingers to let a little bit of light in. And then when you're ready and you know that you're accustomed to the level of light in your room, then you can withdraw your hands. Hello Heidi, we're just finishing unfortunately, but I will have the full video up when it finally uploads. It takes ages. So remember to take some water. I like using chocolate. It's a good excuse to have chocolate because I need to ground. Or protein. Protein is really good, any sort of protein. Yeah. So before you go off and do anything, if you're still feeling a little bit dazed, then what you do is you do a bit of cross crawl. So you match your right elbow with your left knee, and you match your left elbow with your right knee, and you alternate. So it's getting both sides of both hemispheres working together. Okay? So thank you very much for joining me. Tomorrow, I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks, and it will probably continue. Meditations at 9, whether it includes gong bath or just a guided meditation. Tomorrow is going to be late because I have to take my dog to get his teeth fixed. And I have to be in Greenwich between 9 and 10, so I will be late. So I will, hopefully I'll do it at about 11 or 12. Okay, so today has been about, and this week is about honoring the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, honoring the planet, honoring ourselves. It's really about, having a good look around. We're not the only beings on this planet. And it's a good time to start to realize that there's a lot more to what meets the eye. Okay, and our card today was, just to remind you, crow. And the keywords are communication, transformation, story, universal law. And I do feel that this week is a huge potential. We are coming up to Easter, and also, which is very, very interesting because this is the only festival, I think, in the Christian calendar, which is it according to the moon? No, it changes each year, doesn't it? Changes each year, so it's not a fixed date. But we have a full moon tomorrow. But anyway, going back to Easter, it's also the celebration of the pagan spring goddess. And we always have the image of the egg. So it's potential for rebirth, potential to transformation. So let's use the energy, as we lead up to the weekend. And then you can have, hopefully you'll be able to have a celebration, if you like, with your friends, even if it's online. But I'll be in the woods, hopefully. So just a bit more sound, just to focus you. Become present. Breathe. Follow your breath. The body is always present. It's just the mind flittering around. So thank you very much. And like I said, I will post a full video on YouTube as well. Okay, so have a wonderful rest of the day. And I hope that this was helpful. And I will see you tomorrow if you're able to join in, and let's hope that the feed doesn't get cut like it did today. And yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, let's stay connected. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Okay. So I love you all and take care. Bye. Oh, my belly, I need some food.